Hi everyone, I am Almira and welcome to my channel. So today is a pretty awesome day because I am going to bake one of the exciting recipes from the Unofficial Legend of Zelda cookbook, the Monster Cake, which we are not only going to bake from scratch or make from scratch the cake batter and frosting, but also we are going to mold our own horns. So without further ado, let's grab our ingredients and do it. After preparing our ingredients, I am going to make the horns first. So in two bowls, I am going to split my candy melts and microwave it for a minute. Alright, so now they are melted, so I am going to use a purple food coloring and an orange food coloring to make my horns. Now time to mix them with the candy melts. So I'm going to start first with the purple. After mixing our food coloring and candy melts, now I'm going to add the corn syrup. Alright, so now the purple is done. I'm gonna do the same with the orange. Alright, now it's time to mold our horns using the food coloring and candy melts mixture that we just made. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mold two big horns using the purple. And then the orange will be for the small horns that I'm gonna use for the cupcakes. Alright, so now the horns are done. I'm just gonna put them in the fridge so that they will gonna harden and will stick or stand up when I will gonna put them on the cake and cupcakes. And now it's time to make our cake batter. So first, in a large bowl, I am going to mix the sugar and the butter. After mixing the sugar and butter, now let's add our eggs. Milk and vanilla extract. Alright, now let's set this aside. In another bowl, let's mix our flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt. Alright, after mixing this, now let's add it to the milk mixture that we mixed. After that, now it's time to put it in a cake pan. So I am going to use an 8-inch round cake pan. And I will gonna grease it up using a butter so that it will gonna easily come off once it's done. So I'm going to bake my cake batter in an air fryer oven to 325 Fahrenheit for 25 to 45 minutes. Alright, since our cake is done, I am going to let it sit and cool off in the rack. And while waiting for that, I am going to make the frosting. So I am making 2 frosting. One will be purple and one will be chocolate. So in a bowl, I am going to mix first the powdered sugar, butter, milk, and vanilla extract. After mixing it, now let's add our food coloring and cocoa powder. Alright, now my frosting are done. I'm going to set this aside first and cut our cake with the wire cake cutter. Alright, after cutting it, now let's put it in a cake plate. But since I already baked another 8-inch cake and some cupcakes, I'll just gonna put a purple frosting on this cake and then put that cake at the top of it. Alright, so now this is looking so good, but we need to add the chocolate or the cocoa frosting at the top of this cake. So, we need a decorating bag and a piping tip. And I am going to use the 2D piping tip. So to put our frosting inside the decorating bag, first let's put inside the piping tip. And then push it back, cut it, so that the tip will gonna come out. And then after that, let's put inside the frosting. Now it's time to make some swirls at the top of our cake. After that, now let's put our horns. And for the cupcakes, I'm just gonna use a buttercream frosting since I ran out of the frosting that I just made earlier. Alright, so now this is our monster cake and cupcakes look like. It looks pretty awesome and delicious, but it honestly looks like a devil's cake and cupcakes. But without further ado, it's time to dish up. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really had fun baking the monster cake, especially making or molding the horns using the corn syrup and candy melts. So if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and see you all next time.